comes a point in life when you start feeling something has to change. You pick up a book, watch a video, listen to the podcast, make a plan, decide that from tomorrow life will be better. You decide to wake up early, go to gym, read more, decide to speak better. You decide to become calmer, stronger, disciplined, focused, successful. And this is called self-improvement. Self-improvement sounds beautiful, it sounds powerful, it gives you hope, it makes you feel better, that a better version of life is possible. And yes, it has value. It can change habits, it can improve routines, it can polish your personality, it can make you more productive. But today, I want to speak about something deeper: self-awareness. Because self-improvement asks, how can I become better? Self-awareness asks, who am I right now? And this question is far more serious. Self-improvement often begins with a desire. Self-awareness begins with honesty. Self-improvement says, I want to become confident. Self-awareness says, where exactly do I feel small? Self-improvement says, I want discipline. Self-awareness asks, why do I escape my own commitments? Self-improvement says, I want peace. Self-awareness says, what keeps disturbing me again and again? Self-improvement says, I want success. Self-awareness says, what does success even mean to me? This is where difference begins. Self-improvement can become a costume. Self-awareness removes costumes. You can improve your speaking, your body, your habits, your money, your status, your appearance, your schedule, and still remain a stranger to yourself. You can become more impressive and still remain internally confused. You can look more disciplined from outside and still feel scattered inside. You can look successful and still feel empty. This is why self-awareness is necessary, because without self-awareness, improvement becomes a limitation. This is why self-awareness is necessary, because without self-awareness, improvement becomes imitation. You see someone waking up at 5 a.m. and you feel you must wake up at 5 a.m. You see someone building a business and you feel you must build a business. You see someone reading 10 books and you feel you must read 10 books. You see someone speaking about hustle and you feel guilty for resting. But self-awareness asks you to pause. It asks you, what suits my nature? What is my rhythm? What is my real wound? What am I chasing? What am I avoiding? What kind of life feels truthful to me? This is the point where you stop copying and start understanding. Self-improvement without self-awareness can turn into pressure. You keep adding tasks to your life, more goals, more routines, more targets, more expectations, more comparison, more dissatisfaction. And then you wonder why improvement feels heavy. It feels heavy because you are improving an image while your inner self is asking for attention. You may think you need a new routine. Sometimes you need a deeper conversation with yourself. You may think you need motivation. Sometimes you need clarity. You may think you need discipline. Sometimes you need to understand why you keep choosing distraction. You may think you need confidence. Sometimes you need to see where you abandon yourself. Self-awareness is beginning of a real change. It tells you the truth about your patterns. For example, you may say, I get angry quickly. Self-improvement will tell you, control your anger. Self-awareness will ask you, what sits beneath that anger? Maybe it's a fear, it's hurt, insecurity, exhaustion. It is a need to feel respected. It's an old wound getting touched again. Once you see the roots, your anger starts losing power. This is self-awareness. You may say, I procrastinate. I often quote this example. Self-improvement will tell you, make a timetable. Self-awareness will ask, what am I afraid of starting? Maybe you fear failure, maybe you fear judgment. You fear success because success brings responsibility. You fear finishing because finishing reveals quality of your work. You keep delaying because delay protects your ego. Once you see this clearly, your procrastination becomes a message. This is self-awareness. You may say, I want to become a better listener. Self-improvement will tell you, make eye contact, nod and stay silent. Self-awareness will ask, why do I interrupt? Maybe you want to control, maybe you assume you already know the answer. Maybe you feel impatient, maybe you want to improve your intelligence, maybe you listen only to reply. Once you see this, listening changes naturally. This is self awareness. Self improvement teaches techniques, self awareness reveals truth. Techniques are useful, but truth transforms. This is why self awareness is better, because self awareness gives directions to self improvement. Without direction, you may improve wrong things. Imagine you're driving fast, but the road itself is wrong. Speed will create distance from your destination. In the same way, self improvement without self awareness can take you away from your real self. You may become very efficient in living someone else's life. That's quite tragedy. Self awareness saves you from that. It brings you back to center. It tells you what to value, what drains you, what triggers you, what heals you, what kind of people bring peace into your life, what kind of habits destroy your mind, where your ego speaks, where your fear hides, where your love is genuine, where your attachment is pretending to be love. Once you become aware, your life becomes clear. You start choosing with more honesty. Stop saying yes just to look good. Stop chasing things only because everyone else seems to chase those things. Stop explaining yourself to the people who have already decided your worth. Stop performing strength while your heart needs healing. Stop calling your pain destiny. Stop calling your fear practically. Stop calling your ego self-respect. Self-awareness brings language to your inner world. Once you can name something, you can handle it. A nameless fear feels huge. A named fear becomes workable. A hidden wound controls you. A visible wound can be healed. An unconscious pattern repeats itself. A conscious pattern gives you a choice. This is the real power. Self-awareness gives you choice. Before awareness, you react. After awareness, you respond. Before awareness, you repeat. After awareness, you pause. Before awareness, you blame. After awareness, you examine your role. Before awareness, you think. Every problem is outside. After awareness, you understand that your perception, your expectation, your attachment, your fear, your pride, your silence, your anger, your delay, your desire, all of it plays a role. This can feel uncomfortable. That's why self-awareness is better. It does something self-improvement can alone never do. It brings you to yourself, and maybe that is the beginning of very real transformation. So before asking how can I become better, ask, do I know myself clearly? Before adding more habits, what patterns am I repeating? Before changing a new version of yourself, which part of me needs attention right now? Because the goal of life is not only to become impressive from outside. The deeper goal is to become truthful from inside. Once you become truthful inside, improvement follows naturally. You become calmer, stronger, disciplined, kinder, wiser, and peaceful. That's why self-awareness is better. It does something self-improvement can never do. It brings you home. Maybe that's the beginning of a new real transformation. You improve your life, understand your life, you change yourself, see yourself. You become someone new. Meet the person sitting quietly inside you. Because the person you are trying to become is hidden inside the person you are willing to understand. This is self-awareness. And once you have it, self-improvement becomes neutral, honest, and powerful.